All right. How you know that you've healed from any traumas that you deal with or things that might be systemic from your family karma, i.e., any trauma from growing up to where you are now? How do you know you're healed from that? What's the real way that you know you healed from it? Well, what's the real way you know you healed from other things in life? Like if you got a cut, I'm about to keep it so real with you. This might even slip your mind. Majority of the time when you got like a small, minute pain that you dealing with, right? And you do something to heal it, whether it's Neosporin in a band-aid, you put some ointment on it or whatever. What's the first thing that happens when it's healed? You forget about it. And then you go back to it maybe a day later. It was like, yo, I had a scar right here. Nah, it healed up. I almost forgot about it. That's because you didn't feel the pain of the excess or the subsequent value of the accident. You didn't feel it no more. So, what's the similarities to this and knowing that you healed as a person, characteristically systemic, spiritually and physically? Well, your response to these things will be different. You won't have a moment in your life where you are dwelling on these in your life when the energy is even carried around by someone else that makes it a similar value to the understanding of what you're dealing with. You won't focus on that. You might say something to the value, but then you pull away from it real quick because you have an understanding of it. You say to yourself, ultimately, nah, I understand what that is. But I ain't going to get into that. But you got to find out how to work your way out of that. And the reason why most people say that is because it's your own journey. And the answer for each individual person is going to be different. So to understand the indifference when it comes to you subsequently solving or completing the value of having a problem that you're dealing with, it falls on how well you dealt with the issue and how that fixed you. So did you band-aid it right to where it healed you mentally, characteristically, spiritually, and physically? And you'll know that by the way you carry the weight. That's how you know you really healed. I more or less have conjunctions to a conversation. I don't really give answers because my answers for me and what's going to be for you is going to be different. And I'll be wrong. I'll be selfish to impose that on someone, especially if they ain't even me, because if it don't work for you, then you feel it even more bad. You know what I'm saying? Because what I went through didn't work for you. Ultimately, we're not supposed to follow each other. I know it's a lot of y'all out here that need help, that have lost issues and trying to figure out how to deal with some of y'all crazy family members and narcissists and hate and loss and all this. I know you going through that right now. But for me to put y'all on a conveyor belt and say everybody do it like this, it's only gonna put you in a trap later. Just because Jordans came out, that don't mean everybody gotta rock them. But most people do. They follow us. You gotta learn to stand alone. I know what they did to you hurt. It hurt me a lot. So much that now I can laugh at it because I understand their intention. For me, it fell under the basis of saying, well, all right, if that's how far you willing to do something to me on the lie, manipulation, cheat, and heinously hurt somebody's scale, all right, fine. That just showed me the level of the integrity that you have as a person. It shows me your beast. It shows me your demon. I didn't need to converse with an energy or a substance like that. I didn't need a explanation from that. Why do I need an explanation from that? You were willing to bend over backwards and hurt me. Why do I need that to explain something to me? I must be boo boo the fool. You got to find what works for you. Some people need that out. Some people need somebody to tell them, yo, I'm sorry. I don't need that. And that's why I say I walk with unconditional love. I always walk with unconditional love. I give it constantly because if it's possibility that whatever I'm doing or whatever circumstance I'm in comes to an end, I'm never going to feel bad about leaving that because I gave love and I loved while I was dealing with that. So the walk away is simple. That's what people get wrapped up in their head about. They think they own or control things. Neither or of those aspects guide me in no subsequent way. Divine hold me. So he said, walk with unconditional love so you fulfilled in everything in your actions. It's not rocket science. Other people falter. You can watch it. It's called contrast. This how you, and it get ill for me because when you start walking with that value and you make sure that all your options, everything you do, you satisfy the value, even if you feel like you a sucker, like I'm going to do it because I chose. This is what I chose to be a part of. When you say I'm going to do it because I chose to be a part of this, and you stay into it until divine bring you to your situation, to the end or to whatever's supposed to happen or whatever, your durability on universal principle, your cup extends. It extends so large, like the normal circumstances that people deal with, they only throwing pebbles at you now. You've become a tower. You've become a whole earth yourself. Like, it's like, all right, I can sit through this. This is, I see you. And that's the understanding of that value. How much can you take? How much can you deal with? You beg the divine to forgive you every day. Please forget what I did and just help me. But yet you don't want to practice that unconditional love. You won't just put it out there and walk away from it. You won't just give without wanting to receive. There's no unconditional love in the people who want to have that for themselves. Me personally, once I learned how to love myself unconditionally, I learned my limits. I started staying in my lane, and I started watching what didn't mix with my chemistry, what I knew was volatile. It didn't matter what it was. You make me volatile. You're a hater. I see that. You don't have to convince me. I have to convince nobody. This is my conversation to what I see. It's how I feel. So that's what I'm going to stand on. What? Sometimes that's the path you got to walk. It's about choosing you. I be laughing I be laughing all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'll bust out laughing. I'm like, yo, because I be in my own world, in my own head. Because I know things don't be, like outside of that, it's a miracle if it work out right. You know what I'm saying? With so much people be speaking your name and hating on your name, and I wish this and I wish that. I heard the closest people in my life say to people that they, whatever. I don't even care about none of that though. I just be like, that's what's up. I got little things that I picked up on. I saw some of the closest people in my life. Then I'm like, yo, that's how you think about me. They think I don't be knowing stuff because I don't respond. That's something I learned though. I learned not to respond. And that was like the hardest thing ever, like not to show no physical response. Like know something and don't let your body react to it. That's ill. If you can do that, you're going to see a lot more things. It took a long time for me to learn that because I be flinching. I be like, you know what I'm saying? I see it and I be like, you know what I'm saying? But I learned not to respond to things. I learned to keep everything still. I remember I used to sit there and I used to watch like my forehead wrinkle up. And I'd be like, yo, it keep wrinkling up. Every time I'd be like, you know what I'm saying? It don't do it no more because I've learned how to keep my face still. You know what I'm saying? And stop responding. I used to have like the rubber face. I'd be like, moving on, like all these emotions in my face. Now, I still do the eye, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I keep my face still. Even when things are happening, I keep it still. You know what I mean? Because it's not the show. It's not for the response. People gauge you off your physical reaction. When you start controlling your Taurus field with your physical Taurus field, it starts working different for you. Poker face, anyone? I ain't gonna hold y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm just building with you. But I hope this can help somebody. You already know the vibes. Just keep going through your path, whatever that is. Just keep going through it. It gets longer. When you get to this point, And you got to go through something. Your path is like mad long. The end be mad longer, but that tells you that you already went through things. So don't worry about it, man. It's going to work out. You already know the vibes. Naga.